Brendan from WP Alpha. I wanted to make this video to talk about our free migration, and two, our migration checklist. So all our hosting comes with an optional, you don't have to take it, but a free concierge migration where our team will migrate your site for you. Typically we can do this with no downtime, as long as you're not a WooCommerce site or a membership site. If you are one of those types of sites, then generally we'll need a maintenance window where the site displays a maintenance mode message for 2 to 3 hours during the migration process. And the reason for that is that no changes with the maintenance mode kind of maintenance message displayed. No changes will happen on the source website during the migration process. So without that, if you have a WooCommerce site, someone may place orders on the original or source website during the migration, and that order will be lost. So our team can handle all of it. If you want to take advantage of that, you can either talk to them on the live chat or log a ticket. So you can do that under support here. So you'll see live chat and then log a ticket. The system also would have sent you an email on setup. You can just reply to that email with just asking for the free migration. Typically we'll need to do the migration WordPress admin level logon. Ideally logons to your original hosting or current hosting, and DNS hosting access. And if you have Cloudflare, access to your Cloudflare account. If you don't, typically we'd recommend that we set up a Cloudflare account for you. The reason why we use Cloudflare is because it's pretty much the fastest DNS hosting provider in the world. That's why we don't do DNS hosting directly, as it is a complicated service. And you see here, so right now they're number 3 in the world in terms of speed. You'll see them all ranked here. But that's why we use Cloudflare, and the free account is fine, although we typically recommend a paid account if you have a bigger website. Now, the reason why we don't offer Cloudflare directly like a lot of other hosting providers is that there are a bunch of security features and firewall features inside Cloudflare that you don't get with those direct integrations. And we typically use a lot of those to help protect your website from threats and attacks. And then also you can use those features to improve your SEO as well. So you are much better off with a direct Cloudflare account versus a Cloudflare integration with a hosting provider. So that's Cloudflare and the migrations. If you want to migrate yourself, we have a checklist that walks you through the process. And the reason why we provide this is that the hosting environment has a whole bunch of different features, things like speed optimization, AI patching, all sorts of stuff. So we have this checklist to basically guide you through the process of turning those on. Some of them are hidden settings here and there. Some of them are quite technical. Some of them most people don't know about, things like HSTS, which improves security and site speed. So this basically walks you through the process. You've got pre-migration recommendations or steps. Simple things like configuring two-factor authentication, configuring backups to your own cloud storage. This is an important one. One of the features of WP Alpha that was important to us is when we built the platform was giving you the ability to back up your site to your own storage. So you always own a copy of your site. That's a common problem we see where people lose websites because they don't have backups, or the backup's not in their storage, or they're held hostage by their web agency. So with this is actually the first step on the checklist, is configure those backups. So there's always a backup on your storage, and you'll see here we can back up to Dropbox, Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, Amazon S3, and FTP. If you don't have any of those, a free Gmail account comes with 15 gigs of storage. So even for most small business websites, like your typical 10 or 20 page small business website, that will be enough storage space for backups. If you have a bigger site, like a WooCommerce site, it's well worth paying for one of those services. The backup system can back up hourly, depending on how big your site is. That may not be a big enough time window to back it up, so just be mindful of that. But if you have a WooCommerce site with orders coming through all day long, then the system can back it up hourly, so you always have a pretty much up-to-date copy on your own storage. What else do we have? So two-factor authentication. This is important for security, so there's a few different places that can be enabled. SPF records here. This is for spam filtering, making sure that emails from your website, sent from your website, are not flagged as spam. So that's important. That's a common one that's missed. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. So issuing free SSL certificates, HSTS we talked about. There's some lockdown tools inside the hosting platform that help secure your site, protect it from crawlers and scrapers and garbage traffic. The smart update system that's powered by AI. So the system will clone your website into a staging site automatically. It'll take screenshots there. It'll test the updates, take after screenshots and compare the two. And if there's an issue, it won't do the updates. It also checks the error log to make sure that everything's clear before it runs the updates. Now that system runs Monday to Thursday nights. So we don't run it on the weekends. When we first started, we ran it 7 days a week, but that's not ideal doing it on weekends. We try and avoid doing anything like patches on the weekends. The system works, 999 times out of 1,000. It's perfectly fine. There are some edge cases where that may be problematic. So just keep that in mind. But it's better than anything. If you paid a developer to clone the site, they'd be there for a whole day. So the system does that on a nightly basis, or Monday, 4 days a week, Monday to Thursday nights. If there's updates available. If there's no updates, it obviously does nothing. There's a few other things here. So DMARC is another email spam filtering feature or tool or specification. So we don't offer this directly, but there is a Cloudflare feature we recommend you use and turn it on for better email management, better spam filtering control. And then there's some speed optimization stuff here, basic speed optimizations we recommend. And another one, renewing a domain. So domain name expiry or domains expiring is pretty much the most common reason why we see downtime. So renewing your domain, you'll see there, I'll just move this window so you can see. Renewing your domain for as long as your registrar supports is an easy way to combat that. And it also, in some cases, seems to have an SEO benefit. So for .com domains, that's usually 10 years. .com.au is 5 years. A lot of the other country level TLDs are 5 years as well. But basically, as long as you can, renew that domain for as long as you can and make sure the details are up to date. But that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, hit up our support team. There are links and things in here, and this may change over time as we release new features or things change. But this is a great starting point for making sure that the site is migrated properly, and you're using all the features of the system. That things like backups are really important, and and there's other things that save you time there, like the smart update system and protecting your site. In any case, if you have any questions, just hit up our support, and we'll be happy to help you out. Cheers.